Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I want to start off this lesson with Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. And it reads, "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going." And let's look into this word here, believeth. So it says here, to be faithful, to be established, made firm, to trust, to believe. And the reason that I brought this up was I was watching a couple of news clips earlier this morning about how one of them was on, I forget what news channel it was, but they were discussing how AI is going to be, like, it's changing basically the normal way of doing things. It's like the next industrial revolution, but on a different level, and so on and so forth, right? And they were discussing the extremes, right? The extreme rights, on the sense of like the on one hand, you have people thinking that, okay, AI is going to solve everything in the world. You know, it's perfect. You don't got anything to worry about. And on the other hand, you have, oh, AI is going to destroy everything, and you know, you got to worry about everything. So they were discussing a couple of things there, and I saw another video where you had this company, which now what you're seeing is very similar to the demic, right? In the beginning, you had, when all the lockdowns came and so on, you had like this surge in companies hiring people, right? You had a whole bunch of people getting hired, workers remote, you know, benefits were up. It was a whole, you know, surge going on. And what ended up happening? That's where you started to see a lot more layoffs start to come in, as companies were like, all right, we basically overestimated this, right? And now they got to cut costs. And so you had a lot of layoffs happening, right? A lot of areas where they saw they didn't necessarily need and they could save some money, they started to cut. Similarly, what you're seeing now is a whole bunch of startups that are using the initial boom or initial phase of AI to build different things, right? And you know, it's many different. Some are mixing robotics with artificial intelligence in order to build more efficient tools. Like I said, one was for farming, where this robotic device would basically go in the fields, and I think it would be able to detect weeds and then basically, like, you know, uproot them and stuff like that. And so you have like a whole across the spectrum, right? You have humanoid robots that are doing house chores, dishes, folding clothes, bringing in the groceries and all of that. And then you have robots in the kitchen that are cooking. So you have a lot of things going on right now, and a lot of people are jumping on that wave. What's interesting about it is that, you know, it when the dust settles, it might look different, right? It might look actually different than what it looks like now, right? Because it's still transforming. But you now have a lot of companies which, when they look around their competitors, they've seen that everybody is jumping on that AI wave, and so you have a lot of companies that are basically mandating it, right? To say, like, you have to use AI. Like, we don't want people here who are not open or willing to adapt and use artificial intelligence. So what's the point of all this? Why does that matter, and why do we care? Well, when you look at the direction they're moving with an AI infrastructure, an AI world infrastructure, it's much easier to implement a system like the New World Order, right? It's much easier to have universal restrictions, because everybody's adopting similar, if not the same kind of technology. And they're not having to push this on the people, right? They've already set it off to where the people are now doing the spreading of this and easily adopting it. Because to have a system where, if somebody doesn't meet a certain requirement, they can't buy or sell anything, or you're able to shut down almost anything that they can do, you need to have a system that is well integrated, right? You need to have a system that doesn't succumb to human error as much as humans operating machines versus machines operating machines, right? So with the spread of this AI stuff, they've definitely been able to use the minds of the people to help basically spread that infrastructure and open up people's minds to that. So now, going forward, it's really as simple as introducing newer uses of artificial intelligence. And when you look at what AI is doing, it's most of the times it's not doing anything new per se. It's more so just like doing things that people could have done before, but better or faster or more efficiently. And so, as you see companies like Palantir and other companies as well that are using this technology, and they're also being contracted by the government to build more surveillance-like systems, more secure systems. You can start to see, which is why I brought up Proverbs 14 and 15, where this is going. You have a lot of simple-minded people that look at it and it's like, oh, this is nice. This, the world is getting more advanced technologically, but hopefully it'll be for the better because now things will be easier for us. But when they discovered or invented nuclear weapons, was that used to make life better? Right? When they invented these newer technologies, laser weapons and DEW, direct energy weapons, and HARP and all of these things, were those used to make life better for you? Were those used to make life more safer and more equal world where everybody can live peacefully? As newer technology came out, it wasn't used for the betterment of mankind. Right? It wasn't used for the betterment of you or no. It would be open to the public for a period of time that can allow massive research and discovery. Because why do you think the Chat GPT was like, just they have like even a free version? Why was it just not enterprise from the get-go? Because they needed people to use it and test it and find bugs, fine tune it, and they can learn off of how people are interacting with it so they can make it better and better and better. But eventually they'll hit a certain threshold they're looking for, and eventually they'll start to close these things up to where it's funneled, right? No longer, and I'm using a slightly different example here, but no longer are you going to be able to just have your own farm, right, and grow whatever you want to grow on there, and have your own chickens and your own eggs, and you sell it, and then everybody trades and buys things from one another. No, now you're going to have your grocery stores, right? Now it's going to be funneled through some centralized system, right? Nowadays, how often do you actually go to a farm to buy your stuff? How often do you go to a neighbor to get eggs? You go to the store, right? And barely even that. Now you just order it. So similarly, that's what they're going to do. They're going to start to close up access to these things and funnel it to the people by, the means that they want people to use it. And with their different legislations and bills they're passing, eventually you're going to start to see how something that it was new, it was fun, it was shiny, is now going to be turned to be used as part of their plan to oppress you even more. Okay? Like I mentioned before, if you thought having cameras in your smart TVs that are watching your ass without you knowing was bad enough, if you thought what was it, the NSA or whatever, listening into your conversations, now they don't need to bug your phone, right? Plan a bug in your phone and then have actual agents listen to it. Well, ironically, they're calling these AI systems agents, right? When you have the reasoning model and then you have different tools that are attached to it so it can perform certain acts, they call those agents. So no longer do you need to have human agents. You can just have they can bug your phone and just directly stream all your conversations into an agent or an AI model that can pinpoint and accurately 24/7 pick out whatever it needs if they're trying to spy on somebody. It's not like a human being and maybe they said something, maybe you missed it, maybe you were tired, maybe, you heard it, but you need to run it back to like get it more accurately and get the story straight. If they're using artificial intelligence, it hears it once, it knows exactly what you said. It can play it back a million times if it has to. See? So this is the direction that it's eventually going to lead to. It's eventually going to end up in. And we know, according to prophecy, that the increase of technology in this age was not used for the betterment of humanity, right? It's not being used for you to have a nice, carefree life. It's being used to fulfill prophecy. And that's why, going back to Proverbs 14 and 15, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. So when we see these things, yeah, they got these the meta glasses that you can, talk to it, you can put it on, you can look at things. Hey, what am I looking at? Hey, what is this? Hey, and it can do that for you, but you have eyes too, right? If you saw something that you know, how difficult is it for you to take out your phone and take a picture of something, right? But in any case, yeah, they have those things, but the prudent man looks at those and then wonders, with the people, the rulers of this world, and with the technology that's out here, and with their track record, their history, and the things that they have in mind, where is this really going to end up? And as they say, oh, we don't want it to end up in wrong hands. It's already in the wrong hands. It's not going to end up in the wrong hands. It's the wrong hands that are bringing it out. So it's already in their hands. Eventually, it will be quite literally. But you get the point, right? So you look at these things and you look ahead and you see, this doesn't look like technology they're going to use for helping poor people around the world. And no, you'll have companies that will come out and they'll say, yeah, we're building this to make people's lives better, so make it free. But they won't. It's not about making people's lives better. It's about making money. If a company that comes out building new technology claiming to make people's life better is not making enough money, they're either going bankrupt, they're throwing it out, they're not making it free, definitely not. So the end goal is they want to make a profit, right? And when you look higher up the chain, when they're using this technology, they want control. They want that ability, as Yuval Noah Harari said, right? They want that ability to hack human beings. They want to take the Most High's creation and they want to basically revamp it, edit it, revise it, and make it theirs. Matter of fact, since I mentioned that, I'm gonna bring out one more here. Let's get this real quick in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse. I'm gonna start at 4. Get straight to the point. It says here, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. The he here is Esau Edom, not the average Edomite, but they're elites, the ones with the God complex, right? The ones who they have so much money that they could care less about spending it on the thing that an average individual would. They want more. They want raw power and control. They want to ascend to the level of being gods. So they have a God complex, and in their mind, they're planning to use technology to achieve that. But we understand that technology was given to them by the Lord, putting it into the minds of different scientists and different people to build upon different inventions over time so that they can fulfill prophecy. But once that point is done, and what's that main prophecy? The MOTB. The MOTB in Revelation 13 is a big deal because it takes a lot to go from a world of society where people are drawing water from wells with pitchers, right? Or having to walk everywhere or go by ship everywhere, to now a world where you have technology so advanced that they now have devices inside of your body, doing various different things, but primarily being used to like buy and sell and give you access to life. Well, that new life, that artificial life, is going to be those digital cities, those smart cities, and so on. So they need technology that's sufficient to support that kind of infrastructure. And that's why the Most High gave them this ability so they can do that in order to fulfill that prophecy. But once their job is done, then they're gone. They're going to be taken out the way. Okay, so going back to the main point here, back in Proverbs, the prudent man sees these things and knows very well that the end goal of this is not going to be for your convenience, not for much longer, right? The end goal of this is going to be for their plans, at least in their minds, right? When they release this, it's not because they care so much about you. It's because they give you these gadgets, and in return, what do you give them? Data, right? What do you give them? Information. What do you give them? Valuable assets they can use to further their plans. And in your mind, you think that, oh, it's super cool. Oh, yeah, it's this. Oh, well, they already got my information anyway. So not only do they have control over your mind, your perception, but now your body and in the inside of your body. And really, now they're getting to know you better than you know yourself. So, some may look at it and say, oh, you guys are just being pessimistic. You guys just have a negative view of the world. But in due time, you'll see how things end up playing out. And when you end up on the short, you end up getting the short end of the stick, then you'll realize what the truth is, because there's only one truth. The thing is, which side are you going to be on? You're going to be on the sinking Titanic, or you're going to be on the shore because you never got on the boat because you knew ahead of time what was going to happen. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, that was edifying and exhorting to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.